The company was formed in 1975 by Dave Kaufman, who I obviously refer to as Dad. Dad actually grew up just down the street from the Sugar Creek Livestock Auction. His father worked at the auction. He spent a lot of time at the auction as a kid. The stories from my aunts and uncles talk about Dad out in the back lot of the barn where he grew up on a farm selling hogs and selling whatever they had on the farm at that time. Him and my Uncle Adrian doing things like that. And as he started into the auction field about 40 years ago, he had a gentleman that owned the auction barn at the time, Bill Osborne. And Bill said, "Dave, I think there's going to be a really big field in the future, and that's going to be selling real estate at auction." But Dad had said, "Hey, that might be something I'm going to get into at that time." And so he did get his real estate license, worked for a company, Bittinger Real Estate, out of the Dover, New Philly area, and I believe he worked for them for a couple of years. And in 1975, he became a real estate broker and formed Kaufman Realty and Auctions. Dad would spend a lot of time in those years at the local auction barns, and still to this day credits a lot of what has happened with the connections he made at those barns, especially the Mount Hope auction. As a kid, when you were on summer break, on Wednesdays, you always went to the Mount Hope auction with Dad every day. And I can clearly remember the route that he would make. He'd make a route and we would stop and we'd pick up. There was always about four Amishmen that always went to every Mount Hope auction. And then he would get calls from anywhere from 2 to 4 additional. And it was not unusual for Dad's station wagon or his old Ford Bronco to be full of as many as 9 passengers. And we broke every traffic law that you can imagine back in those days. I would sit on Dad's lap as he drove. No car seats, nothing like that. And we would spend, he'd pick all these guys up, we'd go up, we'd do the auction, and it was not unusual at all that you might have a guy who would say, "Hey, I need a calf taken up to sell," and we put a calf in the back of the station wagon or the Bronco. Or on the way home, somebody had bought a dog or something like that from one of the flea market vendors, and we'd haul these things back and forth. I distinctly remember Dad standing outside our house. He'd have a garden hose, and he'd be washing out the back of the vehicle because a calf had done what they do, or a dog had thrown up or something like that, and his vehicle just reeked, and he'd be washing it out. And Mom would be chuckling about it, and I'm thinking to myself, "Why are you doing that, Dad?" And he always said that it was more important to him to see that other people had their needs met than it was his. Where we started 37 years ago to where we are today, there's a vast chasm that's been crossed. In those days, technology in itself was not nearly as developed as it is today. We now offer live online bidding for parties that are looking to purchase, be it contents or be it real estate, can't make it to a sale, they have the opportunity to bid online. We do a lot of static online only auctions, and we were the first company in the state of Ohio to do the online only auction. We have tools, be it from social media marketing to anything from web apps for your smartphone, utilizing QR codes, things like that may not have been used in the last 5 years. And I know we've talked a lot about auctions, but we also offer the traditional listing. We've got approximately 28 agents through 3 different offices. We have a very vibrant traditional listing division as well, and that division allows us to market your home in a setting that will allow for you to maybe have a little bit more control as to the end the end price and so forth. So we hope to be able to handle anything, be it just a traditional real estate listing, to a content auction, to a real estate auction, a mineral auction, whether you're looking to do it in a traditional sense of on-site, maybe you want to do the auction online, maybe you want a simulcast event. Pretty much any gamut of an auction we can handle, or listing.